Hey squad, so today I want to talk to you about what defines a through hike. And I'm not talking about the memories you make along the way or your friendships or whatever. I'm purely talking about the actual definition of through hike. And that can be confusing because it honestly varies trail organization to trail organization, trail to trail, through hiker to through hiker. So like what defines a through hike? So let's just so based on my past, the SHTA defines for the trail organization for the spear hiking trail defines a through hike as like, I don't even know, I didn't even Google it. I'm pulling this out of right now. But they define through hiking as like, they don't even call it a through hike, they call it an end-to-ender. They defined it as somebody who like hikes the entire trail, but like part of the trail was closed, so they're just like, yeah, if you hike the detour, you're good enough. That's honestly all they can ask for. But yeah, so I hiked the detour and we called it a day. I did it in the same directions as I always do, because that's, we'll get to that. But yeah, so moving on to the AT. The AT had similar rules, like, yo, hike every single mile of the AT, like, if there's a trail closure, do the detour. But like, I will be honest with you, I did not hike a single Appalachian Trail. What is it called? Appalachian Trail Conservancy detour. Okay? Whenever there was a ATC recommends you take this detour going this way, I went that way. Because who cares what the ATC thinks, okay? We're still waiting on the 2,000 mile thing, okay? Okay, if they just want to deny us, just deny us. I hate this pending thing, okay? Side tangent, but like, it's hard to move on when you don't have closure. We can bury this when they deny us, okay? If they just say, yo, you're not gonna be one, sorry, move on with your life, I'll gladly move on with my life. But the fact that it's still pending, gives me this little glimmer of hope that's just like, yeah, okay, maybe it'll happen. So keep fighting. Anyways, side tangent, back to what defines a through hike. So like, whenever they said, go this way, I did the actual trail, so like, but like, they changed the trail every year, so like, on the AT especially, there's this thing called purists. I don't know why I air quoted that, because they're realists. And they were just like, I hiked every single mile, foot, centimeter. I saw every single white blaze, and I'm just like, good for you. I don't care. I don't care. So like, if there's like a shelter, like let's say this is the shelter and there's two ways in, so this is like the south entrance and this is the north entrance and this is the AT. If you're hiking north on the Appalachian Trail and you come across the shelter, you hike in to the shelter, and then like, let's do a pop quiz. Which way would you go out of the shelter? The top way or the bottom way? If you chose the bottom way, just to hike this, you're a purist. If you said, who cares, it doesn't matter, let's just do the top and get there faster, it's the same distance, you're not a purist. But does that make you not a through hiker? Because if it doesn't, then I'm not a through hiker. Like, but I was like, but bro, I had a continuous footpath, okay? I walked all the way from Springer Mountain to Katahdin. Okay. So like, don't at me, okay? And I think my definition, like, don't have to be a purist, but you have to have a continuous footpath, is like the best definition, because like, you're not yellow blazing. If you're a yellow blazer, you're not a through hiker, okay? Let's be honest. Unless like there's a trail closure, then I suppose I understand. But I hiked every single trail closure and it was fine and I lived. And we'll get to that in a minute on the PCT, because that's not really an option because of stupid wildfires. But on the Appalachian Trail, I did it. If it was wrong, I still did it. If I was wrong to do that, I'm sorry. But I'm not really sorry because, like, yeah. So, like, yellow blazing, it's a big no-no. If you want to do it, though, do it. Honestly, I don't care. Just be honest about it. That's the only thing is, like, just be truthful. If you're a purist, too, don't be like, oh, I'm not a purist, and then, like, I have to hike every single mile. Like, so be it. Like, even I didn't, like, even, like, certain situations when it's, like, not even a shelter or whatever, I didn't hike the whole official trail. Because, like, they reroute it every single year. And, like, so there's, like, I don't know. Also, there's this place in Shenandoah where it's just, like, yo, you can either hike the official AT around this campsite and take, like, 2.5 miles, or you can hike a 1/4 mile and get to the camp store with milkshakes and food and cheeseburgers and nachos and everything way faster. And if you're a thru hiker and you're not a purist, you're gonna do that point the 1/4 mile instead of the 2.5 miles. Okay. Let's just be honest here. And if that doesn't make you a thru hiker, and if you want to at me for that, just know that's not the only time I did that. Because in Vermont, I skipped a mountain. I don't remember what mountain it was. Maybe I'll look it up and put it here so y'all can know. Maybe I won't. But, like, 2 things come to mind. Actually, maybe 3. 1, my ankle was hurting and I didn't want to climb up another mountain. 2, I felt like quitting, so I didn't summit some random mountain in Vermont. But who cares, because I made it to the mountain in Maine that counts, and I still had continuous footpath. So, like, who cares? You want to at me? Feel free. I don't care, okay? I had a continuous footpath. And the other thing is, maybe someday I'll go back and do it. Maybe someday I will hike the long trail, and then I can summit that stupid mountain. Okay? It's on the list. The long trail is. It might be 1 year, might be 10, it might be like a retirement thing. If I ever can retire after doing 2 thru hikes and putting myself back, like, a couple years, in life. Yeah, anyways, life. In life. I should have said in the real world, because the real world sucks, but, like, let's be honest, it kind of matters. But yeah, so, yeah, I made it to the moment to account. Continuous footpath. I always went north, too. That's the other thing. I always went north, even when I was slack packing. If you want to be a slack packer, too, just be honest about it. If you slack pack, like, 80% of the trail, I know people who did that. I know of people who did that, I should say. I don't know them personally, at least not anymore. Like, it's post-trail and whatever. But, like, I know people that did that, and, like, respect to them. They did the whole thing. Like, congratulations. They had a continuous footpath, but they didn't always go north. Like, whenever I slack packed twice. Okay, let's just be honest. I slack packed twice. Yeah. No. Three times. Maybe 4. I basically slack packed all in Massachusetts. But besides that, I slack packed twice. Besides Rob helped me with in Massachusetts, I slack packed twice. I always went north. No matter what I did, I hiked north. I hiked north the entire trail, or whatever my continuous footpath was. I hiked north. So yeah, and I will say I hiked like 99.9 of the actual trail. So, like, unless there was, like, a fundamentally stupid reason not to hike the official trail, I hiked the official trail, okay? Unless it was, like, you know what I'm saying, okay? I didn't hike none of the ATC detours, though, so, like, I feel like that cancels out my, personal detours, okay? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, maybe I don't care, and I don't care. Okay, so, putting that aside, now let's talk to what I'm defining my PCT thru hike rules as. I'm basically going to keep my 2 rules, except for there's going to be asterisks because of the big 2 unknowns. And those 2 unknowns are wildfires and snow in the Sierra. So, starting off with snow in the Sierra. It is a high snow year, unfortunately, but let's be honest, when is it not a high snow year? Like, let's be honest here. When is it not a high snow year? So, like, if I have to, and if it's bad, and if I don't feel confident, and if I don't have a tramway or whatever reason, I don't feel confident enough to hike through the Sierra, I will flip up to the top of the Sierra. I might summit Whitney, but like I might skip over the Sierra and hike to Canada, and then if I have time, I'll come back and hike south. That pains me to say, but I'll hike south through the Sierra. I guess I could hike north, but like I kind of have this weird idea of I could summit Whitney again, and then or maybe for the first time, and then like Whitney would be my Katahdin of the PCT or something. I don't know. Even though Whitney's not even on the PCT, let's be honest with you. But I don't know. That's just a crazy plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, whatever we're on at this point. But yeah. And the other thing, so like that's the plan for the Sierra. If it's necessary, and if I don't feel confident enough, we'll flip it, and then flop it. We'll flip it and then flop it. That sounds awesome. We'll flip it and then flop it. That's what kind of means a flip flop. I don't know. Flip means you skip it, and flop means you go back and hike it, right? Right? I don't know. I think that's like the loose definition of it. Anyways, yeah. And then the other thing is wildfires. So with wildfires, if it's safe enough and there's not a trail closure, I'll hike it. If there's a trail closure and there's a detour, I'll do the detour. I will do the detour because like PCT fire closures are like serious and you shouldn't do them. Trust me. Not that I've ever done it. But yeah. So if there is not a detour, and then I'll try to find my own detour. If there's not a logical detour for me to take, like ergo, I go through Arizona to get like through like 20 miles of PCT. Like I'm not going to Arizona just to like knock off, like have a continuous footpath to like do those 20 miles or whatever. Like who cares? Getting to Canada and like getting ahead of wildfires is more important than like having a continuous footpath. But like if there's an option, basically if there's an option of hiking a continuous footpath, I will take the continuous footpath. Otherwise I will have to flip over it. And then if there's a chance to flop it, and then my budget allows it, which it probably won't, and if time permits, which it definitely won't, I will go back and hike it, which like, I will go back and flop it. I will go back and flop. Or maybe that's just like a project for another year. And people have gone back and filled in their trail closures before. It's all cool. But yeah. I guess those are my 2 rules. I will be trying to do the whole thing north still. Slack packing is an option, but it's also like not an option because I don't know. Like if you want to come out and slack pack me, I am of now accepting applications to be my personal trail angels. I guess that's it. If you have any questions about my 2 rules and like 500 asterisks, I just guess I have a couple asterisks. But, like, the PCT can be confusing, and, like, you know, whatever happens, it's gonna happen. So, like, there's no changing it, okay? And I'm out there for different reasons that I'm out on the AT for, which I can get into another time. I feel like I rambled on enough. So, without further ado, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will get back to you with my rules. Yeah, I've blabbled a lot, and my mouth is hurting, so I'm gonna go with some water, some smart water, because I bought smart water bottles, just so I would have them. And now I need to drink the water inside them instead of just dumping it out because that'd be a waste of water. Yeah. So, like, I guess until next time, may your elephants fly.